Well, hello there, wherever you are. I have had a go at today's Jersey Evening Post cryptic crossword, today being Monday, the 14th of October 2024, and I polished it off with a cup of tea in what I like to think of as record time. I don't know what the time was, but it was one sitting, it was continuous. I think I looked one word up because I didn't. Did I? Was this it? Well, if we come to it, there may have been a word that I looked up because I didn't know what it meant. Let's have a little look. Lots of anagrams, so that's why I was good at it. If they're more subtle than that, I struggle. I tried to do the Telegraph Prize crossword on Saturday and didn't make any real dents in it. But at least it means I'm not buying the Telegraph, so that's a good thing, isn't it? Now then, one across. Dish made, though 8 taps running out. Well, weird words, so must be an anagram of 8 taps, which indeed it is. It's spaghetti. I don't know whether spaghetti is a dish. If I'm making spaghetti. I guess I sort of think it's an accompaniment to a dish, really. But there we go. That's just me being a snob. 2 down, initially posed as lifelong friend. Well, it means friend, and it's using the first letter, the initials of posed as lifelong. So it's PAL, pal. 3 down, expected he had seen about work. Yes, so this was one where I wasn't sure about work. So I was pretty sure that he had would be heed, HED, and that it was going to be about work. And in crossword speech, the letters OP, which is short for opus, as in a musical work, means work. And I knew that opus meant work, but I didn't twig that OP meant work on its own. So I did Google what is OP in a crossword, and it said opus. And I expected, hoped, I guess they are synonymous. 4 down, merchant put up communist paintings. Well, a communist painting would be red art. And if you write red art backwards, so if you put it up, you end up with trader. 5 down, trying awful risk is nothing to yours truly. Trying in this sense means bothersome. And it's an anagram of risk, so it's awful risk. And it's nothing, so O, to yours truly, and yours truly is me, as in when you refer to yourself as yours truly, you mean me. So, muddling all that around, we've got an anagram of risk, which is irks. Then we've got nothing, which is O, and then we've got yours truly, which is me, and we end up with irksome. Did I then have a go at 9 across? Quite possibly. Dreamy pedestrian, and that's just a cryptic definition, and it's sleepwalker. Pretty straightforward. Where did I go from there? Perhaps I went to 10 down from there. Former country of great men say. So the former country is the definition, and great men say is an anagram of East Germany, a former country. Let's do 11 across next. Unusual rise owing to what is left over. Unusual rise owing to what is left over. So the definitional bit here is leftover, or what is left over, Unusual indicates a rearrangement of the letters in rise, and then a word that means owing to. And if you fiddle around with that, you get resi as a unusual rise and due for owing to. What's 12 across? Oh yes, I wasn't entirely happy with 12 across. Some backward children wonder if he has title. I am not quite sure about this. I'm sure the answer is owner, for he has title. The person who has title is the owner. But I'm not entirely sure about the backward children bit. Perhaps someone in the comments will explain 12 across to me. I wasn't really happy with that. Let's try 6 down. E.g., 9 factors possibly. So it's going to be an anagram of 9 factors, and it means possibly. And it's a 3/8, so it's FOR for instance, being an anagram of 9 factors, meaning e.g., for instance. And we've got a couple of shorties. 8 across, unity among honest people. Well, in the word honest is the word one, which is where the unity comes from. Let's try 15 across. Let man become disturbed in mind is an anagram of let man, meaning disturbed in mind. Mental. I'm not sure that's necessarily the correct terminology, but well, I suppose it just means in mind, doesn't it? It doesn't mean disturbed in mind. Let man become disturbed is the anagram bit. In mind is mental. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt there. Always in trip out as individuals. So always is ever. Oh dear. I felt was ever. You always in trip out as individuals. I went for everall e. So it's sally around ever. So if you sally forth, you go out. And severally means things happening as individuals rather than happening as a group. Yeah, I wasn't entirely happy, but I think it's right. Then we've got 18 across, imagined early childhood. So imagined, fancied, so we've got in fancy, imagined early childhood. What is 19 down, beginning with an F? She should be true to her promises. Oh, this was a bit like the one about the chap who's always winning was Victor. This is a girl's name that is something to do with truth, and so I went with Faith. She should be true to her promises. Faith. Oh, pretty good. 16 down. Leaders living in nearly every area lead by direct descent. So the answer is, so leaders living in, so it's L for leaders, living in nearly every area leads. Yes, so it's leaders meaning the first letter of living in nearly every area lead by direct descent. So it's Lineal, lineal, meaning by direct descent. But it's in this case, I thought leaders was just the letter L, but leaders is telling you it's the first letter of, the lead letter of, living in nearly every area. Lead. By direct descent. Lineal. Little bit round and about, that one. Well, at least my explanation was. 20 across. Tate machine, where films are watched. Tate machine is an anagram of at the cinema, where films are watched. 11 down. Repeat, treat air differently. We're looking for a word that means repeat, and it's an anagram of treat air, and differently tells you that it's an anagram, and so it's going to be reiterate. What's this? 13 across. Gin set out to take into the body. Gin set is an anagram of ingest, meaning to take into the body. 17 across. It's a mistake to lose head in great fear. Well, great fear would be terror. If you lose the head, you lose the T, leaving you with error, which is a mistake. 14 down. Extend a jail sentence. A nice double definition. Extend is stretch, and stretch is a sort of slang word for a jail sentence. Let's put the letters in the right place, just for a change. 22 across. Detain workers as lovers may do. So we're looking for detain workers. Hold is detain. Workers is hands, as lovers may do. And then we've got either mid, mud, mod, mad, or med. Crazy scheme to erect water barrier. So it's water barrier or dam backwards, which is mad. Let's hope this is going to be correct, and it isn't, which means there's a problem somewhere. And I wonder where that is. Maybe it's with owner. Oh no, there's a word that I haven't done. Fingers crossed I've actually got the answers right, which of course I don't always. Weight directed northwards to north is a ton, which is of course a mass, not a weight, is the thing I've pointed out on several occasions. Too casual to use the word weight when it should be mass. Comes 6. I think this was quite an easy one. I bet there'll be some good times here. Binky, always strong. Mr. Koala, D, S, Venu, Alu, Ali, Mycelium, there I am, Mike, Dav, Ely, Jill, SB, Catherine, Frab, Andy, Bazaar. Excellent, Bazaar. Well, I think a very accessible crossword, judging by those times. I reckon these people are actually doing it in that time, unlike me, of course, where I've done it on paper and then I'm just typing it in. So very unfair to be that high up. I would be down here with Jill and SB, I think, if I'd done it for real, as it were, online first time. Anyway, I shall have a crack at it again tomorrow and see how I get on. And these, of course, are not recorded live, even though I've still got my sort of live setup, because I've got very poor broadband where I am at the moment. So I'm just muddling along, recording it rather than streaming it. But maybe towards the end of the week I'll be back streaming, which will be fun, because I'm going to a conference up in Manchester where I'm sure broadband speeds will be very rapid. Anyway, I hope you are all well wherever you are. Bye now.